Hi everyone, welcome to the Dyslexia and Academic Success Back to School webinar series. The webinar is going to be hosted by me. I'm James Porter. I'm Community Manager here at the Tutor Crowd. I'll be the one asking the questions. The two main presenters are Stephen and Patrick. Both presenters are dyslexic themselves, so we're hoping for a really insightful interactive webinar series from people who've dealt with dyslexia their whole life. Stephen is a published dyslexia author. He blogs at dyslexiawayofthinking.co.uk, and he also hosts the biggest dyslexia group on Facebook as well. Patrick is an ex-teacher and dyslexia tutor, and he's now CEO of the Tutor Crowd.
I'd like now to move on to a specific area where dyslexics typically struggle, and that is writing. Patrick, again, what are the reasons for you, and what's your understanding of why dyslexics have difficulties with writing?
Well, I think for most people, for not, I'm a dyslexic, but for a non-dyslexic, they kind of feel that writing is a slightly seamless process, like cleaning your teeth. So you just go and you write something. Actually, writing is a three-step process. What happens when you write is that you have the thought, and then you organize the words in the right order in that sentence, and then you actually write it down. So that's 3 steps. Now, that's problematic for a dyslexic because dyslexics have a faulty short-term memory, i.e. they have problems holding information in the short term. And so if you imagine that process for a dyslexic, they have the thought and then they have to hold the thought whilst they actually physically write it down. For a dyslexic, that's problematic, and therefore the words can come out in the wrong order and they can get the spelling wrong. So that's one of the reasons why writing can be difficult. I always use the analogy, it's a bit like cooking and holding all the ingredients at the same time for a dyslexic. It's kind of difficult and things can come out higgledy-piggledy.
Thanks, Patrick. Stephen, what's your perspective on this?
I mean, as a dyslexic, from a personal point of view, I would say that when someone reads my writing, they'll say, oh, there's grammar mistakes, there's structure mistakes, and spelling. And I can't see them. And so it's just, when it comes to writing, the dyslexic won't see their own issues until someone points them out. But from my point of view, when I'm writing, I often will describe a picture that I'm describing from my mind, and I'm concentrating on that image. And when I'm actually writing, I'm writing as I'm speaking, and this is the incorrect way of how we are taught, or should be taught, how to write. And because of this, for example, everyone speaks differently depending on if you're speaking English in a different nationality, or regional, or personally you write differently. And because of this, everybody will see dyslexics writing a different problematic from grammar, structure, and spelling. I can't really say much more.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry.
Thanks, Stephen. That's both very different perspectives on the issue, but both very interesting.